Christian or a Muslim or a non-believer, use the best of whatever your value system is to make the world a better place. And that's what Arthur Szyk says to me. That's what his art tells me.
Thank you, Irv. Paul.
I'd like people to look at Arthur Szyk's work and see the extraordinary power of art to generate thought and to inspire action. I would also like them to see Arthur Szyk as a representative of a broader Jewish American, Jewish tradition of socially conscious art. And because there are some powerful works there that are anti-racist, I'd like people to remind themselves that the struggle against racism is a continuing one. It's something we ought not to forget. The election of Barack Obama in 2008 did not mean the end of racism in America. And we ought not to forget that. If we forget it, we do so at our peril.
Thank you, Paul. Naomi, and Irv, will you sort of flip that last slide and say a word about that? But Naomi, please.
What I am most inspired and love the most about Arthur Szyk's work is his unbelievable commitment to using the tool that he was best at to highlight the injustices in the world of his day. And the three things would be, one, to consider the issue that most resonates with you or that you would most want to address. Two, think of the way that you would want to explain that issue to somebody else to move them to also care about it. And three, think outside the box of how you could explain it or how you could connect someone to that issue.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Naomi, Paul, and Irv for the incredible work they're doing and for being here this afternoon. Thank you guys. My few final comments before we go to the gallery, I hope you'll join us, would be this. This one, Irv and I were talking about, comes from the Ottawa Journal, 1940. Art must be mobilized. I'd like you to go home, for all of us to go home, thinking about in what ways can art better be mobilized? In what way is activism a form of art? Because I deeply believe activism requires everything art does. When the question was asked about how he does his work, I think to be an effective activist requires the same kind of discipline and strategy and passion. And finally, I give you an image that I came upon late last night, and I think in one of Irv's pieces I was reading, that Szyk was not his given name. That was not his birth name, right? And he went by a variety of names and struggled with it. But at one point, he was Arthur Szyk, or in the Hebrew, the first letter that would go with Arthur is an aleph. That's the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And the shin, which is the sh sound, goes with the Szyk. What struck me about this is the aleph and the shin together in Hebrew forms the word that means fire. I think what we've seen here today are three people that possess a fire about the world. I think anyone who's an artist has a fire that's burning deep. I think anyone who's an activist, and actually I think anyone who's human has a fire that is burning. What I ask you to leave today thinking about is the question we started with. For every one of us in 2011, that question came, where is thy brother Abel? You could all interpret that as well as I can. Lee, Irv, Naomi, Paul, everybody here, why are so many of your brothers and sisters hungry in America, homeless in America? Why are there genocides in the world? Why everywhere are there still wars on this planet? And I think what a Szyk does for us is inspires us to go out and find that impulse inside of us, that fire, and kindle a little bit more, and together maybe make that difference. Thank you to the three of you. Karen, thank you for having us, and thank you all for coming today. We really appreciate it.